Apple hitting new all-time highs. It's at the top of the Dow today. Toni Sacconaghi joins us. He's a senior research analyst at Bernstein. Downgraded the stock to market perform just 2 weeks ago with a $400 price target. Tony, I know you also moved lower on Tesla. Both stocks have been surging on the back of their announced stock splits. Do you think that that's a coincidence, or is that really what's been, do you think, the driver of the shares?
No, I think if we look at both stocks over the last, since the beginning of the year, there's been very strong fundamental performance. Recently we've had some tailwind, following the stock split announcement. But that's sort of the cherry on top of the cake. I think to their credit, both are executing well. Apple is, I think, being increasingly viewed in a different light. It was viewed as sort of a more cyclical hardware company, and there were worries that it would not fare well during this pandemic. And it's going to grow earnings about 10% this year, and it has a big, potentially big iPhone cycle coming up. So the company's executed well. I think it's demonstrating that its services value proposition means that it's somewhat of a different company than perhaps some people believe. And there's anticipation that, next year could be another good year. So all those things have contributed to run up in the stock. And again, I would view the stock split for both Apple and Tesla as sort of the cherry on top of the cake at this point.
But a cherry that really adds much flavor to the cake, or is it totally superficial? Because I guess after Apple's quarter, and you came on and joined us that week, there was definitely a lot of positive fundamentals people could point to that justified the big jump we saw in the share price. But when you see Tesla jump 15% in 2 days after announcing a stock split, it does make you think, was the jump in Apple's share price purely superficial based off its own announcement of a stock split?
Yeah, look, I think Tesla's following tends to be more individual investors and if I would use the term cult-like. And so I think to potentially to that constituent base, the stock split is viewed more constructively. I think in Apple's case, where it's such an enormous capitalization stock, it's critical to almost every investor's benchmark. They would discount a stock split in terms of not really adding fundamental value to the shares. They really were rewarding Apple on as you said, Wilfred, a really strong quarter. And so I think the investor base and who the stock appeals to is a little bit different for Tesla on balance than it is for Apple. And that's why I think you saw an outsized return on the split announcement for Tesla. And Apple's, I think, was much more about fundamentals.